There was a 20-ton door in the bank vault, and there was iron in its walls. The builders were so confident about it that they didn't even put a security alarm in the bank vault, because it was called an unbreakable vault. The illusion broke when the thieves made a master plan and fooled the security in this vault for 27 hours. Welcome to Mr. Dar's videos once again. What was the master plan and why is it considered the biggest bank robbery in history? Before talking about this, let's go straight to the day of July 19, 1976. The sun had risen on Monday, and staff members had started arriving at the bank named Société Générale in Nice, France. This bank was considered to be the most secure and strongest vault in the world until today. According to routine, the bank staff went to open the vault. It was a very heavy door with a very complicated lock. They put a lock combination, but the door didn't open. Now it is important to know that this door had already caused problems many times because it weighed about 20 tons, so it often got stuck. The bank staff felt that it was stuck as usual, so they contacted the company that made the vault. After half an hour, the company's experts came to the bank and started trying to open the door. But the surprising thing was that this time the door was not opening even from the company's experts. They tried many times, but this door was not ready to open in any way. Things were getting serious now because there was a line of customers, and now it was a question of the bank's reputation. Finally, after 3 hours, they decided to drill a hole in the wall of the vault and see what was stuck in the door. There were no signs of forced entry on the door of the vault, and no signs of any kind were found on all 4 walls. After drilling a hole with a heavy-duty drill machine, when they went inside, they saw that someone had welded the door of the vault from inside and closed it. Seeing this scene, it was quite difficult to believe it, because there was only one way to enter the vault. There was no light inside it and no window. That is, it was impossible to enter the vault. Now, seeing this, everyone realized that something abnormal was definitely going on here. They ordered machinery and decided to break the wall of the vault and go inside. This work was very time-consuming because these walls were much thicker than normal walls and there was also iron between them. Anyway, after many hours of hard work, a hole was made so that a person could go inside it, and when they went inside, this scene was unbelievable. The bank vault was robbed, some lockers were broken and some were open, and the most interesting thing was that these famous words were written on the wall of the vault with spray paint, whose English translation is "without arms, without hate, and without violence." Now the bank staff realized that they had seen a tunnel in the ground of the vault. Now the rest of the work was done by the police, which had reached that time. The robbers had broken 400 safe boxes out of 4,000, including the money and gold blocks in the vault, and had stolen valuables from inside. The tunnel they had dug was leading to the city's largest underground sewerage line. There, the police got a lot of evidence, including tools and 27 gas cylinders, with the help of which the robbers had used a welding torch. Not only that, but ventilation equipment and a 1-kilometer-long electrical cable were also found in the sewerage line. This robbery was worth more than $20 million, whose total cost today is $110 million. It was not only the largest bank heist of the century, but this police investigation is also the largest investigation in France. Anyway, this news spread all over the world. The reputation of the bank was badly damaged, but it was also a place of great regret for the French police. For the next few months, the police searched every nook and cranny, caught the people around, interrogated the bank staff, but could not find any clue about the robbers. Then, after 3 months, in October 1976, the police got a very big lead. A member of the group of robbers had been caught on the tip of his own girlfriend. At first, he was not believing it, but when the police checked his health, he burst out and took the name of the whole gang. The surprising thing for the police was that this gang used to be famous for petty thefts. The fact that they had done such a big bank heist was not being digested. The mastermind of this plan was actually someone else. During the interrogation, the gang members gave the police the name of a person, who, according to them, was the mastermind of the robbery. This Albert Spaghieri was actually a photographer. When the police arrested him, he did not look like a criminal from anywhere. Simple dressing, simple lifestyle, and lived in a normal house on the outskirts of the city. When his neighbors found out, everyone said that Albert was a simple photographer who always kept his work to himself. But what the police were thinking about Albert Spaghieri was completely different from that. He immediately confessed to the police that he was the mastermind of the bank heist. For the police, this case was now almost closed, but this was just the beginning. According to Albert, he had previously taken a locker in this bank and used it as an excuse to go into the vault and capture photos of everything. He had previously kept an alarm clock in his own locker, which was set at night. When there was no alert and no security alarm rang, he confirmed that there was no security system in the vault. Then he went to the city government office of an engineer and got the city map. On this map, he estimated where the sewerage line was and how far it was from the bank. Then he calculated that if he dug a 26-foot tunnel from the nearby sewerage line, he could go straight to the bank vault. Now this job required a lot of hard work, so Albert contacted a gangster in the city and told him the whole plan. The gangster put his men to this job. It took almost 2 months to dig the tunnel because this work was being done without machinery. And it was very important to do this work only at night when there was no one in the bank. During this time, Albert was trying his best not to let anyone hear the sound above the sewerage line. Then on the night of July 18th, Saturday and Sunday, he finally entered the vault. For the next 27 hours, he robbed with great ease, during which he also had lunch and dinner there. And before leaving, he wrote these famous words and left. The police presented Albert to the court, where he admitted his crime in front of the judge. During the interrogation, he wrote the evidence of his plan and the details of the robbed money in a paper in code word. He said that he would only give this evidence to the judge. And only the judge would be able to read this code word. For this work, the judge called Albert to his room. Albert gave the paper to the judge, on which the city map was made. Now the judge was trying to understand that map. Albert jumped out of the window of the room. This room was on the first floor and there was a car standing below it. Albert fell on the roof of the car and immediately stood up and ran away on a bike that was already waiting for him. Despite the police's efforts, he could not be caught. Many years later, his interview was broadcast on a TV show in Italy, in which he said that he was very fond of treasures from the age of 12. And I fulfilled this hobby with this heist. It felt like he was bothering the French police through this interview. After that, where did Albert go? This mystery has not been solved yet. In 1989, Albert Spaghieri died. His mother said that someone had kept Albert's dead body outside his house. I hope you will like and share this video. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next video.